Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you a first look plus on-feet video of the brand new Puma evoACCURACY 1. Now as you guys can see, it does come in this fancy drawer style box. Pull the drawer open, and on the inside they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes. The string bag is navy blue in color with black strings. You have your MB45 branding at the bottom, your evoACCURACY branding at the top left corner, and one single very small Puma logo in neon yellow on the back of the bag. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at this very interesting yet confusing release from Puma, the evoACCURACY 1. Now the first question I know a lot of you guys are going to ask is this the new Balotelli signature model? Is this a shoe that he's going to be wearing exclusively, similar to how Messi has his signature colorways, or his own signature line, technically the Messi 10.1 line, and Ronaldo has his signature colorways, Neymar has his signature colorways? That's kind of what this is, but in the form of a completely different shoe. Obviously this does have the MB45 Mario Balotelli number 45 branding on the heel. He will be wearing this shoe, or at least something that looks like this shoe, exclusively for the time being. Not sure how long that will be. With that being said, it's not actually his signature shoe. He's just going to be the contracted Puma signature athlete that will be wearing these exclusively. So if it's not a Balotelli signature shoe, it surely must be a brand new line for Puma to run alongside the Evo Powers, the Evo Speeds, and of course the Puma King. And the answer to that question is also no, that's not the case. This is essentially a limited variation of the Evo Power. It uses obviously the same base as a pair of Evo Power 1s. It uses similar materials and similar technologies as the Evo Power line, but it is a more accuracy-focused variation of the Evo Power, if you will, which of course I will be talking about in today's video. Think of it as the Evo Power that never was. So if you are interested in getting a pair of these for yourself, it's a limited edition release. It's not going to be a continuing line based on what I can tell, but it does have a limited edition price at $250 US. So if you are interested in a pair of these for yourself, first link down below in the description, it'll take you to the review page on my website, and on that page you will find buy it now links for the evoACCURACY 1, along with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will actually be able to pick these up below their normal $250 retail price. So you don't have to necessarily pay the high price tag that Puma is asking for this shoe. So like I said, it's not a limited edition release, it's not a brand new line, it's kind of just a concept shoe, the Evo Power 1 that never was, that essentially Puma is giving to the public for, I guess, a temporary amount of time until they all sell out. So that's what this shoe is all about. We're going to be going over all of the details in today's video. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. Before we get into talking specifically about the evoACCURACY 1, I want to share a little bit of a theory that I have about this particular release from Puma. Now on the left I have the original Evo Power 1, a fantastic shoe, and obviously what Puma is saying the evoACCURACY 1 is based off of. It has the same sole plate, has a very similar shape, it has the exact same cut in the heel, and it's a lot more like the original Evo Power 1 than it is the Evo Power 1.2. With that being said, my theory is that I think the evoACCURACY 1 was one of those testing models for the original Evo Power line that made it a little bit further through the testing process, and they probably had multiple different variations of the shoe that they were considering until they ultimately kind of finalized design and released this variation of the Evo Power 1 to the public. The reason why I'm saying this is because I think it's just a little bit strange that they would develop one shoe specifically as a limited edition release for Mario Balotelli to wear for an exclusive amount of time, probably a couple of weeks or something like that. It just doesn't seem like it's something that they would pour money into. This almost just comes across as a variation of the Evo Power 1 that was actually developed alongside the Evo Power 1 and could very well have potentially been the Evo Power 1. Again, just completely a theory. There's no kind of facts that make this true or anything like that. Just something I want to share with you guys, and let me know your opinions on that down below in the comment section. Do you think I could be right? Do you think this could have been the Evo Power 1? Because in my personal opinion, I think that there was a strong chance that this came very, very close to being the original Evo Power. So what does the evoACCURACY 1 have to offer as far as performance is concerned that you can't get from the Evo Power 1 line? And the answer to that question is not so much that they offer a different type of performance, more so that they offer a different type type of feel. Now, like I've mentioned throughout the video, Puma has said that they designed this variation of the evoPOWER with accuracy in mind, hence the evoACCURACY name. So what does that mean? According to Puma, this shoe is supposed to allow you to shoot the ball more accurately, meaning that when the ball leaves your foot, it's more likely to go in the spot where you meant it to go. Now, when you break it down like that, it does sound a little bit silly, and long story short, guys, this shoe's not going to make your shot more accurate. No shoe's going to make your shot more accurate. At the end of the day, you're the one shooting the ball, not the shoes themselves. So if you can't shoot the ball accurately, no shoe's going to improve that. With that being said, there is some science behind the overall design, and I will explain that for you guys because it does actually make some sense. Unfortunately, science and reality are two very, very different things when it comes to soccer shoes, at least. So they added extra padding to the upper. It's an Adapt-Lite synthetic material. It's still supposed to be one-way stretch, which isn't really the case because of how much AccuFoam they incorporated. You can see that it has this embossed look across the entire upper, mainly on the medial side where you have kind of these diamond embossed areas. And all of this material is very thick layers of AccuFoam. So it's pretty heavily padded. I would say it's 2 to 3 times thicker than what you get from the evoPOWER 1.2, as well as the original evoPOWER 1, which is pretty significant. They feel a lot different when they're on your feet, noticeably less flexible because you do have all this AccuFoam, which isn't flexible like the Adapt-Lite synthetic is. And it's just a lot more bulk on your foot in general. So how is this padding going to make your shot more accurate? The concept is this: when you strike a ball with your foot is an uneven surface, and unless you strike it in the exact perfect spot, there's no guarantee that it's going to go exactly where you want it to go. There's a margin for error, if you will. Now, by adding all of this padding, when you do make a firm contact with the ball, that padding is going to compress, squish down, and give you a more of an even surface, a better chance of shooting the ball more accurately. And that does make sense. It will offer a certain type of feel that you won't get from most other shoes, or any other shoe for that matter. But with that being said, at the end of the day, if you can't shoot the ball accurately, no shoe is going to allow you to do that. So that's what the concept is all about. It still maintains the other evoPOWER concepts as well, in that it's supposed to offer more power to your shot, but obviously because the upper is so padded, you're not necessarily getting that thin sensation that they claimed is going to increase the power of your shot, hence the evoACCURACY name one more time. And then of course, they talk about the flexibility of the sole plate with the evoPOWER line, and this obviously does have the exact same sole plate featuring their gradual stability frame. Now it's a Pebax material, it's very thin in the forefoot, a little bit more structured through the middle with this spine, but it's designed to be very, very flexible. And on this upper, it just isn't as flexible because the upper isn't flexible. That's kind of the beauty of the evoPOWER 1 system, is that you have the flexibility of the upper along with the sole plate that allows the whole flex back system to actually work and feel good when you wear the shoe. With this shoe, even though it does have the same sole plate, it doesn't actually flex backwards because the upper isn't flexible. And with that being said, like I said, this is really a heavily padded evoPOWER without the flexibility feature. You have the same stud pattern, which performs really, really good. You get a good combination of stability from the bladed studs and really aggressive traction and bite when pushing off from the conical studs here at the front. As far as other new features or exclusive features to the evoACCURACY, you have fairly matte finish on the upper, aside from where you're going to find all of this kind of green graphics, these diamond patterns. The graphic itself has nothing to do with the design. It's there simply for looks. And honestly, I think the shoe looks pretty cool, but we'll talk about that in just a second. And you have the grip text texturing on there. Again, something that we do see on the evoPOWER 1.2. It's kind of a clear coat. It's very difficult to see, and it's extremely minimal. Again, I put these shoes on and just did a little bit of juggling and dribbling just for about 10 minutes or so. And I will tell you that the shoe has a lot of extra padding, which is very, very noticeable when juggling the ball and kicking the ball in general. But as far as grip is concerned, just like the evoPOWER 1.2, and I said it in my videos on those, it really adds no extra grip whatsoever. I'm not sure what Puma is trying to do with this kind of grip text branding. It's so minimal, and it just doesn't add any grip to the ball whatsoever. So it's, again, kind of a gimmicky thing, not something that you're actually going to notice, or at least is going to have any kind of significant impact on the performance of the shoe. Obviously, it does have the off-centered lacing system like you find on the evoPOWERs. It does have these nice kind of soft foam pads inserted in the tongue, but no cutout in the tongue, which is kind of unusual normally where the laces run through. It has pretty much the exact same shape in the heel area that you're going to find on the evoPOWER 1. You can even see the actual little kind of rubber oval piece that would normally be there that they've covered up. The cutout is still there, but the insert's not. And then obviously it's just solid material, so they could put the MB45 branding there. So it does have that flexible feel to it. And then of course you do have a heel liner material that is kind of like a micro perforated synthetic material. It's really, really soft and a little bit abrasive as well, which is actually quite nice. It grips your sock really well to keep your heel locked in place. And then of course you do have an insole, which is just an evoPOWER 1 insole with the evoACCURACY branding. So there's the graphic, as you guys can see, single layer of foam as the base, and then of course perforated foam inserted in the heel as well as in the forefoot. So step-in comfort, not an issue. Actually a really well cushioned insole. But that's pretty much it. It's nearly a one-piece upper. The only seam is right here. Again, in a very similar area to where you see the seam on the evoPOWER 1, just at a different angle. But nonetheless, pretty interesting shoe. Again, I think that this really could have been the evoPOWER 1. It just didn't end up going that way. But nonetheless, it's an interesting shoe. It's not going to make your shot more accurate. Actually, if you're interested in watching my video where I test the power of a variety of different soccer shoes on the market, I'll leave an annotation on screen. It's a really interesting video. If you haven't seen it before, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's move on to the weigh-in portion of the video so we can see how lightweight these guys are in comparison to the evoPOWER. So to see if there's any difference, I have the scale, I have the evoPOWER 1, I have the evoACCURACY 1, both in brand new condition, both in the exact same size 9.5 US. We're going to see what the difference is right now. So we'll start off with the evoPOWER 1, throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.2 ounces, which is the equivalent of 205 grams. It's actually a very light shoe. So we'll take the scale, put it back to ounces, take that off, throw on the evoACCURACY, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.75 ounces, which is the equivalent of 220 grams. So you're talking about 15 gram weight difference with the evoACCURACY being a little bit heavier. You'll notice the weight a little bit when both shoes are in your hands. When they're on your feet, it's not so noticeable. The biggest difference between these two shoes when they are on your feet is not the weight, it's how they feel, which is what we're going to talk about right now. All right, so here is a look at the evoACCURACY 1s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock yellow laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of neon yellow premium SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, check out the website sr4ulaces.com. It'll be linked in the description of this video. Now, as far as how these things fit and feel on feet, the general shape of the evoACCURACY is very similar to that of the original evoPOWER 1, which shouldn't be too surprising. With that being said, the overall feel is a lot different, mainly because the upper doesn't have that same sense of flexibility, and because the upper isn't as flexible, neither is the sole plate. So it just doesn't feel quite the same on feet. It's a thicker upper, it's a stiffer upper, and it just has kind of a more dense sensation to it. It's pretty much just solid foam in the front half of the shoe, which will take some getting used to. It definitely doesn't feel uncomfortable by any means, and I think that after some break-in time, it'll actually mold to the shape of your foot quite nicely. But in terms of comparing it to the standard evoPOWER 1 or evoPOWER 1.2, it just doesn't have that same on-foot sensation in terms of being thin, light, and very, very flexible. With that being said, I actually really do like how they feel. As far as width is concerned, it's pretty much the same case as what you're going to find with the evoPOWER 1 and 1.2. They're going to be suitable for most foot types. It does have that anatomical shaping that does allow for a pretty decent amount of width. So as long as you don't have really, really wide feet where you generally struggle with shoes really needing to stretch a lot in order to fit you properly, these should fit you just fine. They will fit most people very, very well and very comfortably. As far as sizing is concerned, they also run a half size small, just like the evoPOWER line. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, if you're coming from the evoPOWER, stick with the same size. If you're coming from other lines, I'd recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my first impressions of the new evoACCURACY 1 from Puma. It's a very interesting shoe, and I'm actually pretty excited to try them out. I was a huge fan of the evoPOWER 1 as well as the 1.2, and this is a variation of those shoes with the AccuFoam concept kind of taken to the next level. And again, I'm just very curious to see how they're actually going to perform. So I will get to testing these out. Again, if you guys are interested in purchasing a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website. It's the first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you will find buy it now links along with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will be able to pick these guys up below their normal $250 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions regarding the evoACCURACY, I will answer them down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.